Dun da da da, dun da da da, dun da da dun da da da. Hey folks, welcome to SnapCast episode 13. That was my version of the theme song to Halo, because that's the map we're covering today, is Halo CE Canyon Assault by TheSovietOnion. It's a snap map that's made in the spirit of one of the Halo Combat Evolved levels, one of my favorite games, actually. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So I hope you're ready. I'm joined by a few other authors here. Let me go ahead and introduce the rest of the Snapcast. First up, we got Count Lazuli. How you doing, Count Lazuli?
Hey, doing pretty good, Crash. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Great. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here. We also got Sickly Shimly. What are you up to, man? How's it going?
I'm doing good.
And also, last but not least, the author of the map, TheSovietOnion.
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Doing great, man. I'm glad you could be here. I'm glad we could be featuring this map. It's a fantastic snap map for sure.
Yep.
All right, so we ready to do the old countdown?
Locked and loaded.
All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
Spacebar.
Halo.
Halo CE, which does not stand for Custom Edition.
First.
I mean, the PC
Fight your way
version
through
is
the first
edition.
half of Halo Combat Evolved.
Combat Evolved.
Campaign mission, assault on the control room, custom geo and more.
Look at that, 32 upvotes to 1 down. That's a good ratio right there.
Pretty good so far.
The poor wipe of leaderboards. I updated this map too much.
I'm like one of those people who once they upload a map, I go back to update it.
Yeah, I try not to have the
Right
editor's
onto
fever. You don't want to do...
Yeah.
That's how I was when I first started making maps. It was just like, I'd constantly be updating it like every 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, I want to move this thing here. I want to move that thing there.
Oh, there's an important map, Wyatt.
Wyatt. That's such a funny
God.
map.
Wyatt.
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 Oh man, gotta get a little Wyatt.
So many old campaign maps.
Yeah.
Lots of weird ones.
One of your other maps almost became a Snapcast once, Area 51 Raid. I think that got nominated at one point.
Oh, is it the Sentinel? I can't remember.
Man, you've definitely got an arsenal here, Onion.
Yeah, a lot of these old, like the Survivor and the Demonic are really old campaigns when I first started. So they're not like anything special compared to like the custom geo maps. Maps that I make that are usually one-offs, or just a single map, tend to be like, the big custom geo ones. The campaign ones weren't much custom geo.
So you were a big fan of Halo CE as a kid, or what inspired you to make this?
I never really played Halo when I was younger because I never had an Xbox. So I remember playing it a few times at my friend's house, but I never really played it. And then my friend had the Master Chief Collection, and we game shared on Xbox. And one day I was really bored, and I was looking for a game to play, and I had the Master Chief Collection, so I was like, I guess I'll play through this. Because we played a little bit of CE, and I was interested enough to go back and check it. And so then I just played through all the games, and I was like, wow, this is actually a really cool game series.
Yeah.
And CE became my favorite just because, it was the design and all the other cool stuff it had.
Would it be considered blasphemy if I said that my favorite Halo game was Halo Wars?
I've never played Halo Wars. I couldn't tell you.
And neither have I.
I've seen
Thank
a lot of
goodness
it.
no
It seems
sticks for
cool,
me to
but I
be
couldn't
burned
get
at.
into the game.
You know, I
Thank God I'm
remember.
not being burned at the stake.
I remember Halo Forge was actually my introduction to level editors.
Oh yeah.
So I owe it to Halo the fact that I'm in Snapmap.
Well,
Nice.
One thing that always ticked me off about Forge and Halo is that you can never replace AI.
That's true.
At
That's
least with modding on PC, you can now add AI onto Reach at least.
One thing I didn't like was how you had to create a game mode that went with the map instead of having it packaged together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here we go. The
This is
aerial insertion from underground, the last thing they'd expect.
Yep.
No, wait, we're not at that point yet. We have this intermission room. That's
Yeah.
right.
No, worst map ever. Nope, I disagree. No,
Intermission? What is this guardian?
it doesn't reach my transcendent standards for a snap map. I love the little Z's.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's taking a nap.
it's a great touch.
Never thought of that. Never thought of doing that.
I took that from another. Actually, I took that from Wyatt.
Oh, was that in Wyatt? Because I played Wyatt.
Yeah, you might have not seen it, but it was in there. Yeah, those are
there's
old
the-
leaderboards.
I see Stony and Finchatola up there.
Hopefully I'll be up there someday.
We're decided to update this map again.
Hey, Crash, I never noticed. Crash, I never noticed the green arrow on the back of your character.
Really?
Oh,
I
I always assumed that was armor or
here,
something.
But okay.
I guess I just never fixed it.
Oh God! Oh no! Stop!
I always just want to make little jokes in the room, like if you're just messing around.
So how does the scoring work in this map? I never quite figured that out.
It's I think it's set via the whatever difficulty you select. It sets a type of number, and it basically gives a bonus. Like it amplifies the score depending on what difficulty you're playing at.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if it was just nothing but downside, like you just lose more. You just lose.
The higher the difficulty you play on, the more score you can get. So
Okay,
it
good.
tells-
So you
it
did
definitely
balance that out
tells who's
then.
played on higher difficulties.
Gotcha. Because I bet I could do better than normal. Because I only died one
I
time.
remember
so.
when I reinstalled the game, I played one of my maps, and it was then that I realized, holy crap, I suck at this game.
I had to put in all this stuff in because I knew at least some players were going to be confused if they just jumped straight in and had a bunch of weird stuff going on. So I just put a bunch of little I had to flesh this out a few different times, change it up a bit to explain it better. But
Yeah,
it's simplified, so it wasn't just a wall.
You're a nice author. That's why. I just throw people into the meat grinder, sink or swim, mofo.
Overshield's actually incorrect. That's what the invisibility is supposed to be.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a cube.
Yeah, it's a cube. The shield I definitely had to explain, because otherwise no one would just notice that weird little bar in your upper left
That
corner.
must be where the one downvote came from. Somebody was like, "You got it all wrong. It's a cube."
Love the little
Why
health
is it
pack.
this shape instead of this one?
This room is meant to be like the Pillar of Autumn approaching the ring, because you can see the ring in the background.
That's true. You can see it out the window.
And these doors that break.
Let me in.
Stupid automatic doors.
So which Halo is this from again?
Halo
Oh,
The
no,
first
sorry.
one. Combat Evolved.
It's
right.
actually my favorite
Sorry,
Halo game, too.
It's
I never
right there in the
actually
name.
never got to play Combat Evolved actually.
It's a great game.
Well, I imagine so.
Yeah.
I only ever played 4. Well, I played a bit of Halo 5 and Halo Wars 2, but that's because I was using somebody else's Xbox to play it. But the only Halo games I played was Reach, Wars 4, and 3.
Absolutely love this pelican scene right here. See, I would have been tempted to just start the map out just right here at this point with you, and just skip that whole intermission room, because this
I
is
love
just
the
such a kick-ass
cushions.
way to get started.
Intermission is
cushions
just
in the
so you can
Let me guess, the imps are
choose your
grunts.
difficulty.
Yep, I think the imps.
Revenants are the
And-
elites, I'm guessing.
The Revenants are the minor elites. Hell Knights will be
Turn
the
that.
majors.
Turn the volume down a little bit there, so it's not being picked up on the mic.
This room was the first room I built, obviously, since it's the starting room.
It's beautiful. I think is very faithful.
I
Yeah.
did build the Pelican first. I built
And those,
the Pelican later along
Ah.
with the other vehicles.
Oh, I love what you did with the shadow.
I mean, the pelican looks
Pelican was like the
fantastic.
third vehicle.
Absolutely fantastic. And the doors too. The door caught my attention right from the get-go. Just how, faithful that is to the actual game.
Yeah.
And I think this is actually where I had to switch my controllers because my battery was dying on the PS4. So your video didn't freeze. It's just me switching controllers.
No.
Can we just stop for a moment and admire the floor in front of us and just how clean it is? You know, I'm glad to see not like a bunch of like stains
Like a bunch
or
of
anything
Covenant
on it, you know?
garbage.
Yup. Oh yeah, that reminds me. One time I was playing Monster Hunter, fighting Fatalis with one of my friends, and I swear I had like a mini heart attack when they said, "Holy shit, my controllers died." Because Fatalis almost one-shots you with every attack.
I wanted to make the floors clean because they're the Forerunner structures, and the Forerunners have, maintenance spots, probably clean up the place. Why,
They fancy.
Hey, what's refresh me? What's the bar?
Oh, that's your
used
shield.
for?
That's your shield.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Let's see
I think
it.
Stony wasn't it? SovietOnion. Why don't you talk about the shield mechanic?
That is a great topic. So there's 3 versions of the shield system in existence. The first one was the simplest shield system possible, because it just used the health and the armor. It didn't actually use anything special.
Look at that. That's great.
That system was, I think I reused it for like Kick a Donkey. I never used it in this map because I felt it was too simple, and I wanted to do like like the Halo did it, in which you have a bar in your top left corner that tells you. The second one was my version for this one with a system. I used main objectives. The problem with main objectives is they take a second to display, and the shield system was relatively weak, so it actually sucked. This map was pretty bad to play since it's the shield system. And then Sony came along and saved me with his excellent shield system, which I had to modify a bit before I dumped it in this map. But his one's the most fleshed out, and it's very easy to adjust values and stuff.
Yeah, it works really great for this map, and especially I love how close you guys got the sound effects. I mean, it really does sound like you're picking up a shield in the original Halo.
Yeah.
I'm actually really impressed by that shield mechanic. Like, that feels like Halo. That's Halo.
You'll see it later. You'll see how massive and expensive that. Well, not expensive. Oh, it is pretty expensive, but you'll see how massive it is encoding-wise.
And I like that you put a little you put a few secrets in this map too. See,
Yeah,
it's still got that touch of Doom, even though there weren't really any secrets in the original Halo. I mean, I guess you could say like there was like a hidden overshield or an invisibility here or there, but for the most part there were no secrets.
Oh, did you have to find the skulls?
No, I think that was Halo 2.
That was a later Halo game.
Yeah, that was Halo 2.
brought the skulls in, where you had to go find the skulls. Halo C didn't originally have skulls, but they added them in later when they remastered the game.
Yeah, they had Easter eggs and things like that you could find, but I like how you kept it. I like how you used your artistic license to kind of just go around that
and the
part of
big
Halo.
room with the Pelican, the aerial insertion, there actually is a hidden ODST on the ledge in the far corner. You actually have to walk around the ledge to get to him, and no one else has found him that I've seen.
Is that a shade turret?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yep, the Covenant turrets.
Yeah. Is that what they're called? Shade turrets?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah, there are.
Well, I think there's a couple turrets. I know that the shade turrets is, but
Shade turrets are those turrets. I know there's a different version for the other type of turrets.
I don't know if they're referred to as shade turrets in the original Halo. That might be later on in the
I think
series.
that was a later name. I think they were just called Covenant turrets or something.
Yeah.
I gotta retrain myself on a lot of the vehicle terminology in Halo. Just ghosts, wraiths,
Ghosts.
phantoms.
I was planning to add in a wraith, but I never did because I just did not have the space.
Okay.
There's an overshield.
And this is a great scene too. This whole bridge fight. This map this level lends itself well to being put into a snap map. Was it? How did you come to the decision to do this level in particular? Was it like a toss-up between this one and maybe another one that you were gonna go with?
No, this is my favorite map to play in C. I just always loved playing this map out of all of them.
Okay.
And I just knew where everything was in the map, and I knew the map so well. I was like, oh, I can rebuild that one pretty easy. And a lot of the other ones, they got, a lot more complication to them. Like, if I were to do like the Pillar of Autumn, I'd have to build a lot more complicated stuff. For this, it's just a bunch of box cannons.
Yeah, like my favorite map is Silent Cartographer, but trying to do that in SnapMap, I don't even know how you would go about that.
I guess you would have to make a bunch of different modules when you walk around the island.
Yeah, I don't know if you could get it to feel like an island though. Like this lends itself well to SnapMap because you're in a canyon, right? You can do canyons in SnapMap.
Have you guys ever encountered a glitch where you run into invincible?
Invisible demon? Not in Halo. Oh, invincible.
No.
And sometimes I've encountered it, but it's really rare. And it only happens
because
like, coding is messed up or something.
It happens all the time in my Dungeon Keeper map.
Oh.
I know that once happened back when I was replaying an old map, The Hog, for some reason during the final encounter. There was a pinky showed up that was
Secret Sits
completely
#1.
unkillable.
Yeah.
Like, and this pinky was pretty much always killable back when I played it before, so I was confused as to why I couldn't kill it now. Which it reminded me of another glitch I ran into while playing Doom Eternal while I was grinding on the final level for points so I could get the weekly rewards up. And what had happened was I was doing the final mission, and I ran into a Revenant that no matter how many BFG shots I fired at it, it just wouldn't die.
I had a problem. Like, yeah, the Revenants seem to have some issue with that when they just become invincible for no reason.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what was that game mode in Halo where you set up what enemies you're gonna fight and then you like go through waves?
Firefight?
Firefight. Okay, so for any of you guys who do still play Halo, maybe particularly Reach, because this is where I did it on with my brother. Try this out. All right, so my brother and I, we created our own firefight game mode. I named it Hunter Havoc, and the way it works is you're equipped with a jetpack and the fuel rod gun, and you're fighting nothing but hunters. It's fun.
Fuel rod cannon was my favorite weapon in Halo Reach.
Fuel rod cannon, jetpack, nothing but hunters. Hunter Havoc. You gotta.
Maybe this and this map are meant to be the hunters, both variants.
I can imagine that. They're just not that speedy.
Yeah. They have,
but you know, it is
firepower, and then
it is also difficult to create.
When you're in a large, you can't find the last demon, then an fireball is past your head.
So is this Cybermank the hunter?
No, both variants of the Mancubus. So that guy right there is a Mancubus. I mean hunter, and then the Cybermancubus as well. Hellraisers are meant to be jackals, because I didn't want to use shield dudes or possessed soldiers as Covenant enemies, because you know they're human.
Okay. Oh, okay.
One thing I like about this room, even though it's got a dark atmosphere, you can still see.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the amount of lighting I threw in every room is unbelievable.
Yeah, see, it just goes to show you can create a dark atmosphere without, you know, throwing your player into the broom closet. It is possible, okay?
Too bad, into the closet with you.
A lot of these rooms are based off of those
that would be important,
weird dark hallways and stuff of the actual mission. But I wanted to spice them up so they weren't just constantly being the bland same room over and over again. I wanted to make them, each of them unique in their own way.
So
yeah, I like how you mixed that up.
Colors or whatever.
You still put that use your own discretion there. That's good. Because sometimes you don't. There's almost a problem if you're trying to be too faithful to the source material, instead of taking certain liberties where they might make sense to do so. So I like that you did that.
Sorry, what are the Hell Knights again?
They're the major elites.
The elites.
Okay.
So the Revenants are the minors, which are like the blue guys. Hell Knights are the majors, so they're the red guys.
And sorry, this is based on the first Halo.
Yeah.
Okay, so brutes don't exist yet, right?
No brutes yet, no.
Okay.
If there were brutes, that Hell Knights would take place as
it will be us who will do who will complete the great journey, not you, Harvard.
Halo 2 would be really cool.
I was totally fine with not having Talking Covenant in Halo 2.
What if I said that I accidentally thought that the brute that was shown off in the Halo Infinite gameplay reveal? What if I said that I accidentally called him Tartarus for like a month?
by the blood of our fathers, by the blood of our sons.
Hey, you do not diss on my Sangheili. Talk to
I just prefer when they least just yelled war and laughed when they killed you.
Yeah, I was fine with that.
And then in this I made it just so they every time you kill an imp they have a grunt like
squeaky
death.
voice.
Yeah.
I thought it was only comedic relief you find in this map, and that was because the grunts were the comedic relief because they always had some weird fucking thing going on with them.
My only question is, who thought that was a good idea to give them fuel guns?
That's a good point.
Oh no, that's right. Because in later missions in C, you can actually find them with fuel rod cannons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, who thought that was a good idea?
That's a good point, actually. I remember.
Dangerous buggers too.
You know, I remember.
Not for the prophets smoking.
You know, my brother and I, we played a lot of Halo Reach, so a lot of my stories are with him. And there was one time where we had a grenade grunt, and he was right next to an elite. So as soon as he threw the grenade, it stuck to the thigh of the elite next to him.
Oh my god.
Wow. Yeah, the grenades were some of the funnest part of the first Halo. I mean, I feel like you really had to experience this game when it first came out to fully understand why it was such a big deal at the time.
Grenade jumping is the coolest thing you can do in that game, because that game and Halo 2 have the easiest grenade jumping.
Yeah, because grenades in the first Halo were dangerous. Like, you don't want to be anywhere near a grenade when it goes off.
Vehicles.
Yeah, like on the higher difficulties, I know they do less damage to you for some reason, but on the lower difficulties, they do more damage to you. It's kind of weird. It's something to do with the shield system or something, the way they nerf it, depending on what difficulty you're playing on.
I don't
I like this little room
everything
too,
that,
just a little ramp.
Yeah, the weird random ramp that you find.
This actually reminds me a little bit of the antivirus when you're going into the computer.
Oh yeah. And there's actually a dogfish up there.
Put that in.
Oh, is there?
You can't see
You'll
it.
see it. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Huh. I don't agree with everything that Halo Wars 2 did, but I did enjoy that they explored the brutes a little more.
I'm just glad they brought some of the OG.
Yeah, I was getting real sick of like the overly complicated designs that were like super industrial in a lot of ways. For example,
why, I'm glad Halo Infinite's taking this route again with like using more classic designs, but then again, some of the decisions when it comes to like shapers and shit.
The elites are showing off too much skin. They had to hide them away.
Well, I just remember the Covenant in the original 3 Halo, including Reach. They had a very sleek and elegant style to them.
Meanwhile in Halo 4 and 5, they behaved more like the brutes.
Yeah, exactly. They just had a very like
complete opposite of.
There was just a very like industrial feel to the Covenant all of a sudden, or at least the remnants of the Covenant that were under the leadership of what was his name? Jul Madama. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, I remember. He was like one of my favorite characters.
What a way they wasted him.
Yeah, because like I actually thought his armor looked pretty fucking cool.
Well, he was a blue version of the Halo 4 Zealot with a rune or whatever above his forehead.
Yeah, and I really liked that armor.
By the way, Velvadim, my favorite character, without hesitation. Yeah,
he's Arbiter, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the Arbiter, the classic one.
I liked his armor. I liked his armor that he had in the cutscene at the end of Halo 2 anniversary Halo 5.
Well, I mean, I guess that's. I guess maybe I'm in the minority here, but that's what I really liked was the exploration of the Covenant side in Halo 2.
Oh yeah,
while still being able to kick their ass at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, and they had a really good story in that, and in Halo 3 kind of ruined the story. Well, they dumbed down the story a ton in Halo 3. And they started killing off every known character possible.
I've noticed it a lot of times in many trilogies where the sequel ends up being absolutely amazing, and then the third one becomes a meh.
Even though Halo 3 is still a good game, I just don't like its design choices and what it does anyways with, like, I just prefer Halo C and Halo 2. Although I cannot play Halo 2 on Legendary because of how unbalanced it is with those Jackal snipers.
Hey guys, how come is it that we don't see dual wielding anymore in FPSs now?
I don't know. There was a time where it was a lot more common, I think. Like, I remember in Red Faction 2, there was a lot of dual wielding in that game, too. And that was right about before this... That was actually right about the same time Halo CE came out, too, so... I don't know. I think it's just something that kind of just faded away. People didn't want it as much, I guess.
Which is strange, because you could
have... It's really cool. It's always
back to
badasses, too.
Yeah, you know, I think back to a game like Skyrim, and it's like...
Far Cry had it.
Yeah, like you can get really creative with your weapon loadouts if you have dual wield, you know?
I want to say Borderlands has dual wielding.
I think... I don't remember.
The Gunzerker has that. That's only a specific class. It's not every class.
Oh, okay.
Dual wield. Yeah, dual wield.
Yeah, we gotta bring... Alright, there's a few things I want, and I know that they're not all gonna come back. I want to bring back split screen. I want to bring back dual wielding.
Hell
yeah, you gotta have couch co-op and up to 4 players. Like I don't understand this whole thing where it's like you can sync up so many controllers to your video game console, but you can't do split screen co-op anymore.
Yeah,
what the hell's the point?
Yeah, like I don't buy this. I don't buy this idea that we're too busy in the world to get together or whatever. No, you bring your buddy over and you play. You know.
Oh yeah, I remember. So recently, my brother managed to fix our Xbox 360, so we were able to play online again. So first game we play is Halo 3. This is like the first time I played the game in like maybe 2.5 years. So first thing I do, no infinite ammo, sand trap. Once we load it, I spawn hornets, and I start mopping the floor with my brothers. Just driving around in this friggin' Terminator gun.
I know I'm not saying a lot regarding to the map here. It's just I haven't played the original Halo, so I can't really compare it. Just because I don't know what this is supposed to look like.
That's okay. I played enough Halo for to cover the both of us, so I played enough of the first one. Trust. I was obsessed with that game when I was like 14, 15 years old when I first got my copy of it.
If I see like some vehicles and stuff, then I can definitely be like, oh, that's a Warthog, you know?
Yeah.
See the Warthog soon, actually.
I saw one earlier. Down on the bridge.
According to some sources, apparently Halo 2 was only in development for like it released like 10 months.
Yeah, no, they were rushed in development. That's actually the reason why Halo 3 was created, because they didn't have enough time to actually finish the story that Halo 2 was trying to do.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. My question is, why'd they only have 10 months?
It's because they wanted the game. Microsoft wanted the game out as quickly as possible, and the same did the fans did. So they had to
capitalize
crunch the story.
On the success. They had to capitalize on the success of how that evolved. And wasn't the release of Halo 2 like the most highly anticipated release of like all time at that point?
Yeah, like it actually outsold movies, and people were rather buying Halo 2 and playing it than going to movies.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, Halo 2 was like huge.
Yeah, I remember my buddy like he like didn't go to school for a day or two so he could play Halo with his girlfriend.
Same thing happened with Halo 3 as well.
Yeah.
I just gave that warning because I didn't want the player returning here in the middle of the big battle that's going on.
I think my earliest.
That sign is interesting. Too bad I can't read.
Yeah.
There's the Warthog.
Now here's where the addition of the new mods might have been cool if you would have actually used some of those other Doom guys, like those bots.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
This is wasted here, and the screen's messed up on because this thing I meant to do, but it. My eyes.
You know what though? This is just a cherry on top as far as I'm concerned. Like you could have easily just had it not interactable whatsoever. So to me, this is just bonus. This is like I wouldn't even have expected.
Yeah. But what I meant the player to do is like one of the guys tells you, hey, hop on the Warthog gun, and you hop on top, and when the waves come in, you can start using it. The problem is the environmental filter on the camera. If the causes the explosions to blind you, so you can't really see what you're shooting at. I tried fixing it, but I forgot what causes it. But I think it has to do with because I meant to allow the player to see if they were getting hit while on the Warthog gun. And it never got fixed.
You mean you can't get into Warthog and drive it around, man? This map's bullshit, man. You can't drive the Warthog or drive the tank. What the hell, man?
I mean, we could probably do it now with
that's my whiny Snapmap critic voice.
But I've never heard that come out. I've never heard that side of JRcrash.
Yeah, you can't even drive the Warthog. I mean,
Why is this? Why can't you drive?
By the way, I want to take this opportunity to say that SovietOnion is an absolute master at making vehicles in SnapMap.
Yeah, I mean, these are like some of the best I've ever seen.
Like, I saw him make a hearse one time.
I made it in less than like an hour.
What the fuck is a hearse?
The cars where they have like dead bodies ready for funerals.
Yeah, it's a extra long car modified to transport a coffin.
Like, I've seen, like, SovietOnion, like, he's got some really crazy, meticulous detail going. Like, he is not to be...
Detail, but it's also incredibly cheap to make, which is the surprising thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I remember the Warthog took me like an hour to make. That entire thing right there.
Like, SovietOnion is not to be underestimated as a snap mapper.
What I can't do is I can't make fucking people or statues for the life.
Why not, man? Why not?
You did a decent enough job with that Master Chief at the end of the map.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, thank God thank God the modders have discovered done that job for us.
Yeah.
I keep seeing that block there, and for some reason I keep thinking it's a sign.
Yeah, this map was made later on. I could have the player bots as like friendly characters, but this is before the modding era came.
Yeah.
So there was no chance, and I can't update this map, to be honest. My old Xbox, it's one of the older Xbox Ones, so it already struggles enough to actually go into this map and edit it, and it doesn't allow me to edit it past a certain point. Otherwise, I can't do anything with it.
My original Xbox One doesn't even play discs anymore. I can only play my digital downloads.
Yeah, I think mine just got too old now, so that's why I switched to PC, because I can run an incredibly complicated map with ease.
Yeah, which makes me mad because I've got a whole bin full of old consoles, Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, PlayStation 2. All these things still work, by the way, but my Xbox One, no good.
Okay,
That's technology right there.
PS4. I've had my PS4 since 2016. It's the version with like the sharper edges. I think that's like the OG release of the console.
Alright, maybe it's been a different experience for you guys, but I absolutely hate the maintenance of Xbox controllers.
Oh my god, I've gone through at least 3 of them now. They keep breaking on me.
Buddy, try like 8.
I had
my favorite track of the Hell music.
Oh, me too. The choir. You don't get enough of that.
Yeah.
So I gotta mention, it's a cool mechanic you have here also, where the enemies drop weapons.
Yeah.
Just to bring this back to the map that we're actually supposed to be commenting on, not about how much we hate our new consoles. But this is cool because that's actually like in the actual game Halo CE is you'd always have to be swapping out your weapons, especially the Covenant ones, because you couldn't replace the ammo. The ammo was built into the weapon, so once your plasma rifle got depleted, you just had to throw it away and grab a new one, basically.
Yeah, I remember.
What I originally doing, I had to, like, literally, there was no plasma ammo pickup, so you constantly had to drop any, like, plasma-related guns. But later on, when I was balancing the map to make it more fair for the player, I added actual plasma drops, so you can at least refill it sometimes. And right there is some Ghost.
Yeah, Ghost. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, I remember.
It reminds me of the Lego one I used to have. The Mega Box
I remember.
one.
I'm a huge sucker for like orchestral music with like a choir in it.
Oh,
so
of course.
it's like when I heard, oh, you can make songs using a sound effects Snapmap, I was like, that'll be so correct.
Yeah, I definitely wish it was like a.
Guess how far I went with that.
Oh, dude, I definitely wish it was like a
I couldn't even make a whole stand of like track because I had no fucking clue what kinds of forces I was working with. I have no clue what I was doing.
The Lego trees in this map. It's kind of hard to make trees to begin with, so that's why they look
Yeah.
like
Well, to be fair, the trees in the original Halo CE weren't anything to write home about either.
Yeah, they were also Lego trees.
They were pretty much. They weren't that much better than what you're doing here. To be honest.
Yeah.
Weren't they just basically like a ball of green fuzz?
Yeah, basically.
Well, now there's at least some. There's more foliage in the mods, the modded props now.
Yeah.
Hey, do you
Yeah,
guys
mainly
remember?
jungle props, and I'm actually making a jungle map now because
When a reviewer for a movie says, "Oh, this is the graphics look like the video game," is that an insult to the movie or a compliment to the video game?
It's always an insult to the movie.
But is it a compliment to the video game?
I've only ever heard people talk about video game graphics in a movie in a negative way.
I made so you fall through the trees too, so you can't climb on them.
Oh yeah, not good for us mountain goats.
Those
Oh,
guys
what do you got here?
they got plasma grenaded.
We just saw them spawn in half a second later.
You
This is
guys.
the part where, the
And I
helmet
love
glitches
that
out.
tank right there. That's
what's it
my
called again?
that is my favorite prop in this map. This whole map is that tank.
First
Maybe
vehicle
second only
actually-
to the Pelican.
Oh, yeah, what if I
that was
said
the first
that-
Halo vehicle I made because it was really cool.
Hey,
I
what's
am
the
a
tank again?
compulsive-
It's a Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Scorpion
I am a compulsive buyer. So what happened was while we were playing Halo 3, I was playing with my brothers. So I got in a Scorpion, and because like for some reason whenever any of them stood outside of any building, I just shot them. They're like, "Are you Scorpion looking?" And I just said, "No, I was."
I'm gonna go freshen my drink. I'll be right back.
They were picking up rocket launchers, so I didn't want to lose my Scorpion. So I wanted to know where they were as soon as they got out. So I could shoot them.
Yeah, this is where that Pelican. There's supposed to be a Pelican that in the actual campaign. Obviously, you can't do it in Snapmap without incredibly complicated modding techniques. Where the Pelican rolls by, you can see them flying past you and while they're talking to you, and then they go and crash over here. And there's supposed to be some Marines that help you out, but I wanted to make the player more independent in this arena, so I kind of dropped the Marines.
Sorry, I'm just not at this screen at just this second. I'm refreshing my drink too. I can hear it though.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think I've noticed, like, with whenever I do a map that has anything to do with, like, hell or whatever, I am aware that sometimes it's actually kind of hard to see, like, in them. Because of the fact that I use the blue air filter all the time. Because it looks good, but it makes it really hard to see.
So sorry, are those purple things the Covenant shields?
Yeah. They're
Okay,
really
that
basic, but I need to give especially with these large canyons, I needed to give the player cover against enemies, because when these rooms were first, like, you know, they were just like, it didn't have that Pelican wing right there, or Covenant shields, or those burning logs, you could easily get hit.
Okay. Alright.
So I had to
nothing
balance it
keeping
out by
them.
dropping in more cover for the player, so that they won't get constantly getting whacked by, you know, like, random imp fireballs and stuff like that.
So,
okay.
talking about making it easier for the player, I know you updated this map after you watched me play it on my live stream. What were some of the changes that you made to make it more player-friendly?
I immediately added in the super shotgun because I was like, all right, I'm not gonna hide in a secret. I'm putting in the super shotgun as a droppable because you can find it in these later arenas where you really need it. And I also buffed the shield system. It kind of messes up the overshield. If you notice, when you pick up the overshield, it doesn't immediately activate. It only happens after you get hit.
I didn't notice that, but now I'll pay attention.
I can tell you were trying to read that.
I mean, I still hear the sound of it when I pick it up, so that's still, you know, reassuring.
So,
I told you
Crash.
to just ignore the dialogue, basically.
Like, you were
Crash.
trying to read that, I could tell because you're trying to look at the darker area to look at,
Yes.
so I can pick up the yellow letters outside out of this white background.
Yeah, that's the problem with that transmission text. So it's so tiny and it's so hard to read in certain areas.
Yeah.
I probably should have made it like blue or something.
Oh, are those icicles?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's probably another secret.
Wait, what? Oh.
Hey, Crash, did you get your drink refill?
I did.
So did I. I went and I'm just having a strong drink.
What do you got?
Rum and Coke.
Oh, nice.
But I just went and got my second. But I was about to.
I've got a Kona longboard. I was gonna go for the Mac and Jacks, but it's not quite cold enough yet.
Only way you can that secret's so hard to like. You wouldn't notice it unless you just started shooting at it randomly. But basically, you can find a dead ODST guy, and right next to him is a text he carved into the rock where it tells you what icicles to shoot.
Awesome.
Yeah, I found it after I already shot the icicles.
So the thing is, Crash. When I was refilling, I was about to put it in the cup by the bottle and not the shot, so I just stopped myself before I became very close to getting like horribly pissed drunk or something.
Hey, that would make for an interesting Snapcast.
It would be interesting, like drunk snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has to be something like. Oh, you know what? It would be perfect for the Getting Loser. We're going to hell.
Oh yeah, we should definitely do that someday.
Yeah.
And get Z-Man in on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? I gotta fucking like throw a hook in Z-Man, like pull him back into this show because he hasn't been on here in a while. I know he's a busy dude.
He's busy doing his art commissions, but I mean, I don't know how many people don't do this anymore just because of the shit audio quality that the first few episodes had.
Well, I mean, we've gotten way better.
Yeah, we definitely have. It's evolving. You know, actually, I want to get Z-Man on to have him do some work for this Snapcast series. I was thinking about having him make a theme song for us.
Oh, awesome! That sounds great.
Wait, now, imagine all of this background sound of walking in deep dark.
All right.
Here it is.
And then you hear the sounds of something big coming at you.
So, I'm not...
I couldn't make the player use the tank, obviously, because, you can't drive the thing. But I at least made it so you could shoot the tank.
Yeah, it's bullshit. You can't drive the tank around. Like, what's the point of even playing?
I don't... It's funny, I wasn't sure what those purple things were at first, because I'm used to the blue shields, kind of like a shell coming up from the ground. You know the ones I'm talking about?
Yeah, they're kind of, in CE, they were like bluish purple, but they were more purple than blue. I know in the later games they went more bluish than they were purple. But I want to make it so you could see them in the white.
It's trademark Covenant purple.
I think it was something Halo and Shin Godzilla that made purple my favorite color.
So wait, what are the Barons?
Oh, Barons are the gold elites. The ones that have the swords that usually one-shot you.
Oh, the, what are they
really
called?
Scary, but the scary motherfuckers.
What are they, elite generals or something?
Elite zealots. They would be the elite zealots.
In my opinion, when I'm playing Halo...
They're the ones with the swords that kill you in one hit.
When I'm playing Halo Reach on firefight mode without any adjustments to my health, me and my brother always got terrified when we saw one of the elite generals walk in.
Now this arena part here is really brutal because it's just so relentless.
Yeah, I tried to nerf the encounters, but I forgot to drop the amount of demons allowed to spawn. So you might get the problem where you might accidentally have like 3 Barons in the same arena, which is quite unfair, but it's just the way I set it up, and it's kind of hard to modify. I did drop, I think at one point you had 2 Barons spawn instead of 1, so that was really bad. But I at least dropped it so it's not as many enemies going to be coming in at the same time.
Yeah, I do end up buying it at some point in here.
Oh god, I'm buffering.
Just let us know when you get caught up. I'll let you know where to come back in.
Experiencing interruptions. Oh, shut up.
I also nerfed the normal difficulty a little bit, just a little bit, enough so the enemies aren't super tough. but enough that they're kind of, a little bit harsh.
It's still plenty challenging.
I'm gonna close it
Yeah.
and then reopen it.
So sorry. Is this a white screen for you guys too?
No, it's still playing. Just let us know when you got the video back up. I'll let you know where we are time-wise. You can just jump back in. Okay, it's 43, 36, 37, 38.
Works for me. All
43, 40? Okay.
Oh my god, video. Catch.
Alright, yeah, sorry, my screen went white for a moment and it was kind of having like a connection issue.
Okay. We're 43, 56.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm right there.
Okay. Maybe I should have you guys just download this before we start.
Maybe at some point
that'd be like a pretty advanced thing. 'Cause it might take some people a while to download things.
Oh wait, no, I don't think you guys can. I don't think you guys can download it unless you have a YouTube Premium.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
We're not paying for YouTube Premium. I'm already giving enough money to our corporate
it's back.
No, you're not.
Where you at?
Oh, the double barons.
We back up, boys. How?
Yeah, this is.
We're at 44, 36, 37, 38.
I know it might look like I'm owning the map because I'm not dead, but I'm just in panic mode right now. Panic survival mode.
Is this the end?
Not to mention you have the blaring of your shields to alert you.
Where are you at now?
I should have increased the volume of my scream at you.
We're at 44, 58, 40, 50, 45 minutes. 45:01.
Okay, I'm back in. I'm back in right now.
I still can't get over that shield mechanic. I love that.
It actually is really helpful. So, what was the thought in cutting your health and armor in half? Is that just to compensate for the shield mechanic?
Yeah, the shield's basically your health. So there's no it'd be like regenerating health. And CE did have, like, obviously in Halo 2 they dropped the health portion entirely, but I wanted to make it obviously so you can still, like, you'll have a backup if your shield drops. You can take some hits, but you're not going to, like, live long. That's how CE was, and then obviously Halo 2 dropped that entirely. Is like, when your shield's down, if you get hit once, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's probably why people love the multiplayer so much. It's easier to make kills.
I kind of feel like you could have technically just removed the green armor entirely, but
the armor's part of the shield system. That's it's making it so you don't take health damage.
All right.
If only I could pronounce
again.
names.
Oh, these names! I literally looked up elite names and hunter name, and then just like I found like a randomized name faker.
Actually, I can. Actually, you know what? I can already tell that the guy at the bottom is a pretty high rank with the two E's at the end. The me part is like, for example, the Arbiter was called Velvadamy, but when he like renounced his loyalty, he became Velvadam. Or another Arbiter is Ripa Morami. So that's the significance with the last name for some elites.
It always these names remind me of just like the Evil Dead incantation. Klaatu Varata. Yeah, I said the words. What now?
You know, I'm having a hard time remembering a lot of like the gameplay elements for Halo, but for some reason I have no problem with the lore. In some places.
Oh, that guy went up there.
The bad thing about their old shield system was that it used player restore points instead of like, you know, giving you armor every time. So what happened was you would constantly be getting back ammo, and like it would fuck up your shots and stuff like that because it would reset everything. It got really bad, and that's another reason why that got replaced quickly.
Nope, that's where I buy it. Kind of a cheap death. I think it's because his shot landed inside the geo, so I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
From a canon point, it wasn't very good, but as my first Halo game, I really enjoyed Halo Reach. I liked being your own character and, you know, having to fight through a losing battle to defend the planet of Reach. Not to mention, it just had a lot of additional elements that I really enjoyed. Like, there was what was the species of Kigyar? It was the skirmishers.
The skirmishers.
I thought those
loved them.
I thought those guys were super cool. Well, actually, you know what? Sickly Shimmy. I've seen some of your art, and they kind of remind me of those. You had like a bird or something not too long ago.
A bird with horns on its head.
I loved the Revenant vehicle, which was basically a miniature Wraith, but it had like a metallic maroon color to it.
It was pretty it was pretty much a cross between the Wraith and the Ghost.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It was fast like the Ghost and was strong like a Wraith.
Exactly. So I thought it was like a nice mid-size vehicle.
Another terrible thing that happened to me when I was building this map was, as I said earlier, I had the problem where my game would not let me build past a certain point, and sometimes I would just let my game idle. Like I would just walk away and and I'd sit there, or my game would just crash spontaneously, or when I saved and exited, I forgot that I was past the limit I could possibly do. So this room got wiped like a number of times, and I got so mad constantly about it. But I persevered and tried to get this room done. And the boss was kind of a last minute thing, because I needed I'll just put a boss in here.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, I mean that's just SnapMap being unstable. So
Yeah.
I always gotta say congratulations for actually getting it done and having the good fortune that things were. That's the unfortunate thing is even if you've got the drive and the skill to make a SnapMap and the time, there's always that X factor of will everything work? Will your software cooperate? Will you upload? Is the server going to be buggy?
The map and have it function.
Yeah.
Fully complete and done. And you don't have to make a part 2 to it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have to make a part 2 to this.
I've only ever had one map where everything went right.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a map where everything just went right at the beginning.
For me, it was I made a map called Baphomet, and it took me roughly a week to make, and it just all fit together. Everything else is just a nightmare. Nice little dance there.
Yeah. Now this is one map where I would think the Praetor suit would be appropriate if you were to make that mandatory.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was thinking that too when I was reading at the beginning, it said by the way, you're Master Chief.
Yeah. I thought about turning it on, but at the same time, I like allowing players to wear their own armor. I don't really care. I don't some maps don't really need to have the Praetor suit on, but then some people enforce it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not knocking it, but no, people always complain about the Praetor suit, but I think this is one map where you could make an exception and say, yeah, it'd be okay for this map to have it.
And sometimes I'd usually be wearing a green armor, so it always looked fine for me because I'd wear the utilitarian green armor. Oh, yeah, here's the last secret.
Me who all of their SnapMap loadouts is either based on EVA Unit 1 or 8.
I would say this is probably one of the hardest secrets to find.
Yeah, that one I just had an arrow pointing, you just had to figure it out. And
now that the fight's done, there's the BFG.
Yep.
The big friendly.
Now that I don't need it, yeah.
Yeah. I meant to maybe if the player knows, they'll find it during the.
Spartan Laser. I'm guessing Spartan Laser.
Yeah, Fuel-Rod Cannon, Spartan Laser, whatever.
T-Rex.
The T-Rex was an Easter egg from Halo C. One of the last mission, you could find a developer just put inside of a room, just put T-Rex inside of a little nook.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Taste.
Or the Meg.
Now imagine if in another Halo game they just make it come true and you encounter a secret boss fight against friggin' T-Rex.
And when the bosses spawn in this little room here, sometimes they would glitch out, and I had to put in teleporters specifically to teleport them out underneath the geo.
Yeah.
So they can get back into the fight.
I think I encountered that the first time I played your map.
I intended to make this map a trilogy, but remakes are a pain in the ass to build. This map took forever because I'd have to go back, double check, and then I had to load into Snapmap for the 5 millionth time.
Right.
Ah, yes.
Making something like this is just an insane amount of work.
Yeah, I almost finished making them.
Holy shit! I love it every time I hear that.
Oh, look at that.
For half a second, I thought that was animated.
That was actually the first thing that convinced me I needed to actually make.
Yeah, he made him tap dance for you.
I like that you create like a beam that connects to the core
Yep.
on the side of the wall.
Just so it's connected to the door. I was literally running out of space here, so I had to make it as simple as possible. But yeah, that's really the map. I actually as I said, I intended to make the other two parts of the map and finish it. Then I got distracted and I ended up making the final mission. And I almost got done with that map. And I also made the mission where you meet the flood. I almost made that too, but
I was going to say, didn't you make some flood at some point?
One of the maps you can encounter the flood, but it's really just enemies with green smoke around them.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Oh,
It still works.
the flood was like my
Still works.
least favorite part of the original Halo. Actually, any of the Halo games, just because I just don't like that enemy type. They just mindlessly run at you with like rocket launchers, and they'll point blank shoot at you with a rocket launcher and just kill you and them. So
Yeah,
they're always a pain in the ass to fight against.
That was only really in Halo CE though, but if you knew where they were going to spawn, it was you could actually do pretty well.
I guess when you have like a society of various alien species where they all play a different purpose, you don't really need a new faction at that point. And I think that's the problem that a lot of people had with the Prometheans in the later Halo
Oh
games.
yeah.
Because as cool as they
One of
were, they were
issues
redundant.
that people. Yeah, one issue that I
Flood
noticed a
was
lot
meant
of
to
people
mix
had.
it up, because obviously throughout
Actually-
all 5
Well,
missions
the
up
flood
to
were
that.
introduced.
When
Actually, you know
first
what,
met the flood, it was like a new enemy type that was different compared to you. At least by this mission, you knew how to fight the Covenant pretty well. Like you knew how this is how I deal with an elite, this is how I deal with a grunt, this is how I deal with a jackal. Because those are the only 3 enemies you ever encountered, along with the vehicles.
Actually, you know what? I'm not being entirely fair. There was actually one or two units in the later Halo games, the Prometheans, that actually did play a bit of a unique role. It was the symbiosis between the Knights and the Watchers. How
I love
the
that.
Knight would
Like, when
deploy a Watcher and create a new Knight if the first one died.
So I never played that far into the series. What are the Prometheans? Are they like Forerunner?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
So
I
to
know
me,
a lot of people-
that's not breaking the rules at all, because they had Sentinels in the original Halo. So they had
The only
only
problem
problem,
with
like-
Prometheans is that they don't have ways to show that they're about to attack you, and they have kind of unfair advantages over the player.
Oh yeah,
problem-
you guys can hear me, right?
yeah, I can.
Yeah.
All right. So one issue that people actually had with Prometheans was they didn't really look like they were Forerunner technology.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
they
was
were
one
too
issue that a lot of
sci-fi,
people
like
had.
way more sci-fi than Halo is normally.
Yeah.
That is
Like
true.
people
I like
understood the Forerunner Knights and the Watchers, but they look at things like the Crawlers, which are my favorite Forerunner things, but they look at the Crawlers and they say, "How? Well, why would this thing to fight against the Flood?"
Well, I like the design. I actually really like the designs of the Prometheans, but I can agree that they're a bit of a stretch off of the Halo aesthetic.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta ask, why'd you put that hell barrel on there? Is it?
Oh, when you shoot the gun, like when you're in the thing and shooting it, that barrel explodes and it puts shrapnel all over the area. That's what I use the barrel for.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
It'll add just like a little debris field that disappears after a short while. I thought it was cool enough just to put in there.
Oh. Well, I guess we might as well go ahead and get into our final thoughts as you watch this map editor footage here.
I don't know, man. I'm really enjoying watching all the nodes, the
Oh
logic.
yeah, I
and
got
everything.
really tired of the fucking bullying, so I just started calling them my random names.
So I guess I'll go first. Yeah, this was a fantastic snap map. Obviously, it wouldn't have been nominated for a Snapcast if it wasn't absolutely amazing. It's just it's kind of unfortunate though that everybody gives so much attention to the other Halo map that's out there that's very popular, which is called like Halo Pillar of Autumn.
Yeah.
It's an old
Oh, I've
basic
never
map.
actually played that.
It's not bad. It's just one of those early.
It's fine.
It's one of those early snap maps that didn't take advantage of a lot of the newer
So
things.
it gets all the credit.
It's
regardless.
Yeah, it's very basic, and it was just sort of novel at the time because there were enough things about it that reminded people of Halo. But compared to this map, like, this map blows it out of the water completely. But it's one of those things where, because it was around back in the day, it got a lot of attention, and it rose to the top of the search lists. So it's one of those maps that's just really easy to find. So that's why it always gets recognition, even now, is that people who want to write articles or whatever about, like, oh, what are the best top 10 snap maps? They'll find, like, you know, Five Nights at Freddy, that things, you know, that just pop out at them.
And then like Devil City Ransom, Eye of Horus, and the old maps that.
Well, at least like Devil City Ransom and Eye of Horus, like those maps, I'm okay with being up there because they're actually good maps even today. But some maps just don't age well.
Sorry, that reminds me, before I forget, Crash, we still have to do an episode of Time Traveler Part 2. we gotta do that, man. Come on.
I'm okay with that map.
What if we did part 1 and 2 and make it at least a full, like, decent, like, size Snapcast?
Yeah, actually, I'd be okay with doing that. Yeah.
Short by that.
A double feature, yeah.
All right, let's make that the January then.
Sounds good to me.
And the little thing to note in the editor, he hovered over the Lost Soul and he kind of stared at it for a few bits, so all I said was "fuck you." If you ever enable lasso, which you should never do, it was meant to be the joke game mode where you instantly fucking die. Basically, but I made it kind of fair. And I'm pretty sure it can be beat if you're skilled enough. But the Lost Souls are hidden around the map and appear at random moments. Like, you'll just not. Sometimes you expect them, sometimes you don't. And basically what happens, if they hit you, your shield instantly gets dropped to 0. They don't kill you, but they just drop your shield all the way down. And your shield doesn't regen at all on Lasso unless you glory kill something. So your shield would constantly be beeping if you don't have... There's a bunch of other little things that fuck with you constantly.
I feel like I need to give this map another run on Lasso, just because you went through all the trouble of putting that mode in there. I just want to see like how brutal it is for myself.
Oh yeah, enemies no longer drop guns, so you have to rely on the map pickups. I think you can still heal. Yeah, there's a bunch of little minor things.
And there's actually a good use of the change color node.
Also slowly decays as well. There's a bunch of little. I actually put a little list then too. It's
all right. So I might as well just go ahead and finish my final thoughts. So. Yeah, obviously the map's fantastic. Deserves way more credit and attention than it's gotten.
How long has the map been out for?
This map's been out since
Mayish. No, late April. Late April. That's what it is.
Yeah, probably about 8 months.
And I think it's because not a lot of people play Snapmap much anymore. Sadly.
Yeah, that's why you're not going to see it high up. It was popular in May, but that's when the published bug happens and everything went to shit. So maps are really good maps are hard to find now because of the publish bug.
Yeah,
and also because Snapmap is also quite dead at this point.
What publish bug?
It's
when you upload a map, it's
in a way.
When you upload a map, there might be a massive delay on it if it actually appears. I think it's fixed right now, but it's there.
Master cheat.
As you were saying,
I like to think that in time. That time eventually will filter out the better maps. So even the maps right now that have like 200 plays that are really, really good, like ones that we actually cover in Snapcast, but just don't have relatively that many. I feel like maybe I'm just being optimistic, but I feel like over time, the better maps will eventually get the recognition they deserve.
Well, I know that there were times where Snapmap was getting quiet, and then all of a sudden, like, some big thing happens, and then people get back into it for a bit longer.
It's a cycle. We get a mass crowd. I think it's more popular in, like, the summer time and stuff, where people have a lot more freedom to do.
I remember when Doom Eternal showed its stuff for the first time. A bunch of people were talking about how Snapmap is over now, but it's like, well, no, hold on, give it time. You're gonna play a bit of Doom Eternal, and then you're gonna come back to Snapmap. Don't say Snapmap's dead just because Doom Eternal's out.
Especially since Doom Eternal doesn't have any kind of sandbox mode.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna get into the things that I like, and I'll hand it off to the next person here, so we can continue on. But yeah, here's another thing I like. Look at all this logic here.
That's the shield system. All of that is the shield system.
Oh my god.
My goodness.
Wait, is this multiplayer?
No.
I couldn't. I think the shield system actually killed off multiplayer.
Oh, okay. I saw like the symbols for the 4 players up top there. I was like, wait a minute. Sorry,
Anyway.
go on, head crash.
Okay, so yeah, obviously. So one thing I really love about this map is the shield and the shield dynamics. I like how, I mean, obviously you went through all that trouble to get the shield working, and I think you said you give the credit to Stony Fever, who actually gave you the code for that to work. So credit to Stony. I think he might be listening right now. And also, what I really love about the shield, not only that you got it on the HUD, and that it works exactly like the Halo CE shield mechanic works, which is fantastic. But it also really, it has, I want to say, almost exactly the same sound effects. Like when your shield is low and you have that warning beeping, and then when you pick up a recharge, and then that, like when it charges back up, like, oh man, you guys did such a great job nailing those sound effects. I really gotta give you props for that. Another thing I really love is the custom geo, obviously fantastic all around. Specifically, I like the vehicles, the Pelican, the Warthog, Ghost, Tank. Man, just so memorable. Just fantastic work getting those vehicles. I also love the way the enemies drop weapons, just so you can keep that whole, you always got to be mindful of where your weapons are so that you can swap them out on the battlefield for new ones. That's cool, and just the combat overall was super intense, super sweaty, especially with the new update, how the map is now. You're just constantly in that zone where you don't know if you're going to survive or die, and just darting around, and you really have to buy a ticket to the game and be aware of what's happening. And that's the kind of awesome combat that's right on that edge of almost being too hard, but not quite. I mean, I guess your mileage varies depending on how skilled you are, but for me, I died one time, and I feel like if I played this again, maybe I wouldn't die at all. So to me, it was the perfect amount of challenge, and just the combat was fantastic. A couple of things, I can't say that everything in this map's perfect just because, not because it isn't, but because I just can't say that about any map ever. So I feel like I have to nitpick just to say that I'm not totally kissing this map's butt. If I was gonna do this map myself, I think I would not have the intermission room, just because after you see it once and you already know the deal of this, how this map works and everything. You don't need to have it re-explained to you, and you just want the map to start off with that Pelican drop, because that Pelican drop is such a badass way to just kick off the map that I kind of just want the map to start there instead of starting in the intermission room, even though I understand why it's there. It's there to explain how things work. It's there to select your difficulty, but I feel like you also could have maybe done that in one of the Forerunner rooms. Like maybe the Pelican drops, you fight, and then you go into a room where you can choose your difficulty from there on. I don't know. But
I was thinking for that. I was actually thinking if I did like a part 1, I mean like the part 2 and part 3, what it would do is it would just check to see what difficulty you were on in the first map, and then from there just go on. Like you wouldn't have an intermission. You just jump straight into the map. It would just take whatever you had from the previous map and put in like what you had and what you were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the intermission room is great for a first-time player because it's like you just get to slowly see everything. But the more times I play this map already knowing how it works, the less and less I like that intermission room. It just kind of slows me down on my way to where I'm going. So I would say maybe if you were to redo this map completely from scratch, I would say find a way to incorporate the part where you select your difficulty into just like another module of the map somewhere.
I would say, and a tutorial or something. Like as you go on, you just kind of learn how the map works.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. I'm just not a big fan of intermission rooms in general, just in any map, really. And another thing I would say, if this isn't necessarily something that was done wrong, but just maybe it's the way I play. I didn't like how the BFG was where I didn't need it to be. So like I was finished with all the combat, and it seems to me like you really need to know the BFG is there for it to be any use to you, because it's one of those secrets where you're not gonna just be fooling around on top of that ledge in the middle of combat. Like, that's a good way to get killed. So it seems like you wouldn't go up there and explore that unless you had already cleared out the map, unless you already had knowledge that the BFG was up there. So
yeah, I agree. I can agree with that. Yeah, I just kind of threw it in last minute. I was like, oh wait, a BFG. Yeah, let me put that in there real quick. I was like, instead of a super shotgun, just put a BFG there.
Yeah,
and maybe, if you have previous knowledge that it was there, you could possibly jump up there and grab it, and then jump back down. I should have probably put it in the second arena in like the second secret, so you could throw when you jumped into the final arena, you could go and start using it.
Yeah, again, it's not a big deal. It's just like a little nitpick, and maybe like also how that ramp you walk up is invisible. I would say, there are light bridges in the Halo universe. Maybe they have like a switch or something that you can press where it activates that light bridge so that it becomes visible. Maybe like a 2-part secret. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That invisible ramp caught me off guard.
Yeah, I just don't see any reason why it needs to be an invisible ramp. Like, it could just be that you find a switch hidden somewhere and it activates a little light bridge there. You could have like a little Forerunner style light bridge that just shows up, and that would. Maybe it wouldn't have been as jarring as just having a literal invisible ledge that you run across.
Oh, Indiana Jones, basically.
Yeah. So I mean, again, those are just some nitpicks, but overall, fantastic map. Being a huge Halo fan, I loved every bit of this, and so much credit to the author here for making this happen. And just it's so visually well done, and it's just fantastic map. Definitely deserves to be on the Snapcast. Count Lazuli, what are your final thoughts about this map?
Okay, so just to start off, and I think this is very consistent with the skills of Soviet Onion. I think he has really good prop work of all things, like just the way he creates his vehicles, the immersion of it all. Just you can tell that he has a ferocious ambition with that kind of stuff. Now I haven't played this map myself, so I can't really tell you how I feel in terms of gameplay experience. And I really do wish I could give you more insight as to how I feel. But the problem is I don't have experience the first couple Halo games, so I feel like I'm not able to give a full opinion on this map, because I feel like I should be looking at the map and go like, oh, this looks just like it, but I haven't, I don't have that experience with that game, so I feel like I can only go based on the vehicles and some of the mechanics based on the Halo games I have played. So really, I can't judge the actual environment because I just haven't been in that environment.
Yeah, dope fish.
Yeah, I can't judge that either. I've never played combat.
So looks like I need to make a Halo Reach map.
Well, there you go. Well, and that's the thing is I just wish I could. I wish I could give the map proper justice, but I don't have the knowledge or experience to really do that. But for the things that are there that I am familiar with, I think they have been done spot on. In terms of the negativo. I don't know. I thought maybe some of the choices of demons to represent the different Covenant ranks was a little bit strange. For example, there's a lot of different demons that are used to describe elites. But at the same time, that is also a very difficult thing to work with. Halo and Doom are two very different games. And the way their enemies operate are also very different. So, for example, I have he thought of having a Mancubus as, a hunter, and my first thought is, well, a Mancubus is too slow and it doesn't have a shield. But what other demon has that. So you got to make do with what you can, and I think it's definitely up to
like the Baron of Hell. The Baron of Hell does have a projectile and melee and health, but the thing is, like, he's far too fast.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing, because I thought, like, oh, he has a green projectile. That's like a hunter. But again, like, hunters don't leap like 10 feet in the air and bring down a huge shockwave. At least I don't remember.
If they did, it would be absolutely horrifying.
And if you want to get even more meticulous with it, only campaign pinkies really have like the back weakness too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point that you make there. Is that obviously SovietOnion did what he could. I think he did the best that he could with what he had to work with, which wasn't much considering how different the two enemy styles are. But
I forgot what the pinky was even supposed to be be honest. I don't remember why. I think I just put it in for enemy variation.
But yeah, it's almost unrecognizable to an extent that certain enemies are supposed to represent certain enemies in Halo. But he did do a good job with like the grunts and stuff, like the way they scream.
The grunts were it's just because you can hear the screams and complaints of the grunts, so you can tell those are grunts. But something like just because the elites, there's so many variations of elites. I kind of like. As I was watching the gameplay here, I was kind of like, wait, are Revenants elites? Are, Barons elites? Are Hell Knights elites? So that's when it kind of started to get a little bit confusing for me.
Well, fortunately for me as a player, I didn't have to think about what they were supposed to be in Halo. They're demons, they need to die.
Halo 2 Jackal Snipers.
When they're in the Halo 2 map, every Hellraiser does like 1,000 damage, and you get one shot on Legendary.
Oh no, wait a minute. Halo 3 Jackal Snipers were fucking ridiculous.
No, not as bad as Halo 2. Halo 2
had in Halo 2,
you aim
in Halo 2 you just crossed their line of sight. You were dead.
So I wish I could say a little more, but I can only go based on just a decent Snapmap, as well as what I've seen from my experience with Halo.
All right.
And those are my thoughts.
Fantastic. Sickly Shimly, what are your final thoughts about this map? Have you played it?
I really like. I have not actually played this map myself, though I did watch people play it. The reason why is because, as I've stated, there was like a huge period of downtime where I didn't have the game installed, and and stuff like that, so I never actually got a chance to play it. I know that I have Doom 2016 reinstalled now, but I had it reinstalled too soon, and I was focusing more on my own map than playing other maps. Not only that, but I thought I sucked. So, I thought I sucked donkey something at this game, so...
Kicketh donkey.
I just...
Kick a donkey.
Yes, kick le donkey.
Another great man.
I'm only realizing now that the Hellraisers were the Jackals. I'm only realizing that now, and I can't believe it. It took me this long to realize that. That one piece of info. But, it was a good map. Recommend. Though I'm not sure what else I have to say aside from the fact that they drive the vehicles, right?
That's that downvote, man.
I'll have you know they're static props, nerd.
You dare call me a nerd.
There's no plasma grenades. Freaking bullshit.
Wait, where's my pen?
know, right?
Where's my rocket launcher, bro? This is not the true rocket launcher. It just have two barrels.
Where's the reload animation?
You didn't
What
even
the hell, man?
didn't even try to make a needler. Jeez. Didn't even try. I could have made a better needler. I could have made a needler. You didn't even bother to make a needler.
Revenants are ruining my immersion. Where's the elites, man?
Where the... here's my question. Where the fucking hell is the team deathmatch? You're telling me Halo doesn't have multiplayer anymore?
Where's Capture the Flag? Where's Blood Gulch?
I'm going to report this Snapmap. I'm going to get it taken down.
So unfair, ban report.
I've debated if we should actually find like an achievement map and report the shit out of it and see if Bethesda does something.
You know what? I am petitioning to cancel Onion.
Oh shit.
Alright, speaking of Onion, Soviet Onion, your map, fantastic. What are your final thoughts about it?
And
feel free to talk a little bit about what inspired you to make it, maybe some of the challenges you had getting it done, and anything you want to go into.
This map is the actual level it's based on is my favorite Halo CE map, as I've said before. I just wanted to build a Halo map, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to build. I started out with, I built Master Chief, and I made that simple shield system, and I was like, I guess I'll make that map, because I know it so well, because I played through it a ton of times. And I was like, all right, I know this map well enough that I can make this map. Like, I have, faith that I can build it. And so it took me a really long time because I just kept going on and off because sometimes snow environments are the most boring fucking environments to build, to be honest.
Yeah,
there's nothing in them.
There's not much you can do with it.
It's the most simple environments to build, but at the same time, they're boring as fuck to build.
Hey, there's snow in this map. That means this qualifies as a Christmas map.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas holiday special!
Well, let's play All I Want for Christmas in the background because welcome to the mall.
Silver
We're
bells.
gonna get copyright strike for
Silver
that.
bells.
It's literally like people. This is like literally like Walmart the second Thanksgiving ends.
No, Walmart's near me already had Christmas stuff before Thanksgiving. Right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was direct heresy for me. Anyways,
I remember I saw the first Christmas ad that I saw this year was on Halloween Day. Let Halloween do its thing for Jesus.
Anyways, it took me a while, and also I was fighting memory constantly because it was just being a pain in the ass for some reason. My old Xbox just couldn't handle it, and there was tons of things I was constantly setting up. I had to build the chain gun on the back of the Warthog. That took me a while to set up. I had to build these giant arenas, and they took forever, putting all the decals down, building their rooms. Then, because I remember I didn't have the basically easy to grab vehicles. I just had those vehicles on standby in the intermission geo room. So when I had to grab them, I had to grab every single prop, make sure I grabbed every single one. Then I had to go place it down. Oh shit, I fucked it up. Now I have to go place it again.
Yeah, there's always one or two blocks that you forget to grab, and it's like, dang it, I gotta go do this again.
It's easier now when I realize I can just hook up a delete block, so I can just grab all of the pieces and then move it over somewhere. It took a really long time to build this map, just mainly because remakes are a very hard thing to make in any sort of game editor to begin with.
Oh yeah.
You have to be right or close as possible to the original source without obviously you can take your own liberties like I did with this map.
Yeah.
But you have to get the feeling right for the map. I had the shield system, the map was pretty similar. I had the vehicles, all that type of stuff. I definitely would like to come back to this, but as I always do now, since I apparently struggle to release maps, as we all do. I get too invested in one project, and then I get a great idea and jump right to the next one and abandon that project. So
I just have a laziness problem.
So currently I just have probably 10 different maps, all different types of genres and things like that. There's at least 3 Halo maps that exist, including this one. I was trying to build 2 other maps because I got distracted. I didn't really want to go back immediately to No Hell, as the next map was going to be, except it was going to have tunnels this time. But overall, I like this map. Probably one of my best so far. Probably going to have better stuff eventually, but this still is a great map I've made. I enjoyed building it for the most part. That's really it for this. I got nothing else really to say.
Yeah, so You're saying maybe there might be some more Halo themed maps, maybe some other maps completely different. What's cooking in the Soviet Onion kitchen right now? Is there anything you could
currently
hint
there
at?
was I almost finished the Maw, which is part of the Maw. The Maw was the final mission of Halo CE, where you go blow up the Pillar of Autumn so you can destroy the Flood. This was meticulously made. I probably can go grab some screenshots of it and post them later. But that map was meticulously made. Like the Maw was like detail for detail, and I had every room finished up to the bridge when you first meet back with 343 Guilty Spark again. And I also had 343 Guilty Spark, the map where you first meet the Flood. But I only built the first the first 3 parts of the swamp. I never got into the actual building or anything like that. And that map was already taking up a ton of space. And also, that was the first map I put the Spirit in, which was the Covenant dropship.
Ooh.
I actually have a map I made where I dump all the assets for the Halo vehicle. So if you ever wanted to put a Halo vehicle in your map, it's easy to copy and paste.
Yeah, I think I saw that in your profile there. So these maps are they're still on the table for maybe being released someday. They're not like corrupted or broken or anything.
No,
you
no,
can't
all
use
my
them.
maps are pretty safe. Xbox has been pretty good for me. I only have the game crash. I never have the game corrupt something. But now I shifted to PC and I moved all the projects over, but I haven't really touched them in a while. I'll probably get back to them after I get back with this series I'm working on, or trying to get done, and I keep getting distracted.
Well, it's just cool to know that they're out there in some form, whether they're ever released or not. But
the one other Halo map is actually pretty close to being done. I was actually going to stop it at that point when you get to the bridge and have that little fight there, just so I could have it I could make a second map and have more space to work with, and then I could make the final map, which I was actually intending to make the Warthog run.
all right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the outro music right there. It's a little rough.
Outro music.
I think I'm gonna have to
doing a Warthog run, except at 10.
Well, you get what you pay for, right? I mean. So thanks everybody. That was Snapcast episode 13, Halo CE Canyon Assault by TheSovietOnion. Fantastic map, unbelievable map, so true to the source material. And I mean, if you love Halo, you gotta come play this map. If you're into Snapmap and you're into Halo and you haven't played this map, go play it right now, because it's amazing. All the work and effort that went into it, it's just totally S tier all the way. So I want to thank the cast for being here. So thank you, Count Lazuli.
No problem, man.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you. Sickly Shimly, thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
And Soviet Onion, fantastic map. Glad you could be here to break it down for us.
Yep. As always.
All right, fantastic. That's going to do it for Snapcast. That's going to do it for 2020, as a matter of fact. There won't be another Snapcast until next year, so...
Next year
That's a long time, man.
Yeah, man, it's only like 20 days away.
Yeah, but we're wrapping up 2020, so... I know it's been a rough year for a lot of people out there, so I just want to put out a little positivity. It's people going through a rough time, but, stay hopeful, hold on, stay in the fight, don't quit. Things can get better, and they often do get better, so this is definitely, this time of year, more than ever, people need to have that spirit of the holiday, that, be there for your friends and family who might be going through a rough time. And, we'll all get through this together. So, that being said, what was that?
As Master Chief would say, finish this fight.
Finish this fight. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you want to be part of the next Snapcast, there's a link in the description to join the Discord. Go ahead and join it. There's no subscription fee. I won't ask for your email or anything weird to annoy you. Just if you want to be involved in this in any kind of way, or be speaking in the next one, just go ahead and follow that link, and it's lots of fun. It's as much fun as anything else you can do on lockdown, so you might as well do it. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Until next time, peace out.
Meow.